Hello everyone, so the game that we're playing today is Day Survival. This game takes place after nuclear fallout in Russia. The game goes on for so long. There are so many quests to do, there are so many cities to scavenge. There are actually thousands upon thousands of actual real cities in Russia that you're scavenging. So if you like that type of a game, this is the game for you. I love those types of games. So to be honest, on my top list of games, this is probably at least within my top 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit new game. Now I do play a few different profiles. I play a profile in real life. I also play a profile on super hard. But I guess, to be honest, I'm more concerned about finishing my real life one before I can attempt the super hard, and I have yet to try online. So for this tutorial and this walkthrough, we're just going to hit sandbox. Now, I have the option to use premium set because I have actually paid for the premium game. Now, the reason I do this is very simple. I love the game. I love the game so much, I want to help support the developers of the game, so I pay for it. Also, premium version allows you to save anywhere. Now, saving is very important. If you're a gamer, you already know how much it sucks when you haven't saved and you've died. And then you have to go back for the last 15, 20 minutes just to get back to the spot that you died at. So in the premium set, you can save anywhere, and it is so important to save. So if I die, I really just load up my previous game, which is probably only about 4 or 5 minutes from where I've just died from. So anyway, for this one here, I'm not going to use the premium set only because it kind of cuts off that first little walkthrough that I would actually like to go through with you. So the first few quests on that, it also, premium set gives you a few coins that you can use to buy items, and premium set also allows you to use different kinds of markers to mark certain areas, which I do use. So let's just hit start here. I don't remember anything. What happened here? Who am I? Again, this game is huge. This is an actual example of the map. There are over thousands of cities. Those big spots you see being blown up are cities with extremely high radiation levels. Stay away. There are only ruins all around. Nobody's here. So now this is going to take us through a walkthrough. So pretty much this is where we're going to start here. I have to concentrate. I have to decide what to do. So it wants you to open your quest, which is located at the bottom left next to character. You'll see it blinking here. I don't remember anything. There's nobody here. I have to find someone. So tap the map button to choose the direction and tap the go to start your journey. So if we hit view on map, it wants us to go there as our first quest. So this little blinking running man there is what we're going to hit. That's the go button. This house was abandoned a long time ago. I hope there's something to eat here. Now it wants you to open the location menu and tap search to get some items. So let's hit location. And you'll see here that the place we're at is an intact house. It's sunny. Radiation level unknown. In this city, there is no radiation level right now, again, because it's the tutorial, so there is no radiation. You'll notice that it says you can find canned beef and matches, and you can meet rat. Honestly, fighting with the rat is a waste of time unless you cannot avoid it. If it's unavoidable, then I guess just kill that rat. If anything, it'll make you bleed. Yeah, pretty much it's a waste of time though. If you're going to hunt for an animal, hunt for something like a wolf that actually has meat that you can use and fry and eat. Eating rat meat I think is already disgusting in real life. I guess if it ever came to it, we'd see where we go then. But right now, I can eat canned beef instead. So let's hit search. This is how you search for items. You scavenge by searching different homes, different areas, different cities. So it says I need to pick up what I found. So let's pick up all. I'm starving. Maybe I could get my memory back if I ate something. So now it's saying to open the inventory, choose the canned beef, and tap the eat button. So to the right of the time here, that flashing inventory, we're going to choose canned meat, and we're going to eat it. From looking around, I can see that this town is abandoned. If I want to find people, I have to get more food. Now it wants us to go to the canteen. So let's view it again on the map. There's the canteen. Let's hit this little running man here and go. When I came closer to the canteen, I heard dogs bark in the distance. I need to hurry. So now it wants you to search the canteen and take all the items. So we're going to hit location. Now again, you can see that we can find here buckwheat grains, rusks, dirty water, and can. So let's search until we take everything. you'll notice that's changed to nothing left. That's how you know you've completely scavenged an area, is if you see nothing left. Now let's pick up what we have. The sun has already reached its zenith. In a few hours, the streets will be full of beasts, far more dangerous than dogs. I have to find some stuff to make camp outside the town. Now it wants you to go to the construction site. So let's view that on the map. And let's hit our running man. This construction site looks promising. Here, I'll find something to make a camp. Search the construction site. Now, as you search, this search bar does get faster in time. It's the same as a few other things that we'll go over later. So we'll pick up everything we have. And now it says, I can't stay here any longer. I have to get away from this town before the dogs or damned rats find me. Go to your destination. So the destination now is a little spot outside of the town. We will go there. So now it says, I need the fire to cook food and scare off beasts. So we're to find the firewood in our inventory and kindle a fire. So let's go to that inventory button, hit the firewood, and kindle. I always choose the shortest option. If there is no shorter option, then you have no choice. But I mean, I don't see why you'd spend 180 minutes doing it if you have the option for 15. So as we complete certain things and as we build things, we're going to get new survival points. These can be used to start creating new designs, such as the fire in the hut you just seen there. So first of all, before we do this next task, I'm going to click this button at the very bottom right that says Designs. And you'll see that our survival level is at 1. I have 5 out of 90 points, which is required to get to these next ones, okay? Now, as you up your survival points, you will notice you have more options to do certain things. Same as cooking, same as chemistry, same as mechanics, sewing, and blacksmithing. Now, I will say mechanics, okay? First of all, we're going to unlock these ones in the next few minutes. It wants us to do a quest where we make these 2. But I'll also say that really, I've noticed playing this game over the last while that this handgun is a waste of time. Do not buy it. If you have premium, don't waste your money buying it, okay? If you're going to waste money and you're going to use real money, go straight for the AK-47 rifle. The attack is 1200 here, okay? It pretty much will allow you to beat anyone and anything, almost, okay? My preferred weapon of choice, once I get to it, is this. The Molotov cocktail is 1,300 attack points, and it really requires little to nothing to make. So you need rags, 1, you need soap, 1, and 500 gasoline. Once you get enough equipment and you start moving around in the game, you can honestly have about 15 or 20 of these Molotov cocktails, ensuring that you have the best chances of survival, at least at the beginning of the game for now, all right? So let's get out of this and our quest again. This water stinks. I have to boil it. I'll use a can as a saucepan. So it wants us to find the dirty water button in the inventory, tap the boil button. It is below the drink button. Then it says if you're out of water, you can find it in craters within the towns. One of them is near the canteen. You will find sometimes craters that have toxic water. Again, I think toxic water is a waste of time. If you can find dirty water, you only have to boil it once. Toxic water requires you boiling it twice. Plus, if you accidentally drink it, you're increasing your radiation level and all sorts of things. It is not good. So just stay away from toxic water. If I find a crater with toxic water, I mark it with a red X to stay away. Now, let's go over a few quick things first. So this up here, the top left button shows a skull. It says exhaustion. Exhaustion is a measure of the damage to your body from hunger and disease. If it's more than 105%, you may die. Next is hunger. Hunger signifies how empty your stomach is. If it reaches 100%, your exhaustion starts to increase. Thirst. Thirst is your need to drink. When your thirst reaches 100%, your exhaustion starts to increase rapidly. Pretty much it's the same as real life. You need food and water to survive. So don't starve yourself and don't get super thirsty to where your death level is going to start to rise. Okay, so just to the right of the water there's a red eye. Fatigue. Fatigue level shows how long you haven't slept. You will wake up with 50% fatigue if your hunger or thirst rate are at the maximum. So pretty much you want to sleep and you want to rest. Later in the game, once you start to come across coffee, tea, Pepsi, or cola, whichever one it is, Pepsi Cola, you will start to increase your fatigue level as you drink those things. So it will allow you to go farther in your journey with resting less. Next is the radiation. Radiation increases your poisoning. Try not to sleep overnight in towns without any cover. Honestly, sleeping overnight in a town better be an accident. You better accidentally have hit that sleep button instead of the run away from the town button, because there's no reason to sleep in a town that's going to create your radiation level and make it go higher. Anyway, so this will help you avoid radioactive contamination. A radiation level above 30 units may cause radiation sickness. Next one is your poisoning. Poisoning increases your exhaustion level. Eating uncontaminated food or go hungry for a while to lower the poisoning level. Over time again though, you will start to be able to scavenge hospitals. There are actual drugs that you can take here and there that will help lower that if you need to, okay? So we'll get out of that. And last one is bleeding. Bleeding quickly increases your body's exhaustion, often leading to death. Bleeding decreases very slowly. To reduce it, use bandages and sterile bandages, which you can either find or make from clothing. Honestly, when you make the bandage, it comes from a rag. You are able to use just the regular rag, but honestly, there is no reason to. It increases your infection. It can make things bad. It is best just to create sterile bandages. We will get there again later, okay? Another reason I paid for premium is this button right here. These are the select marker button. Now, in the free version, you don't get as many and you don't get as many colors. I don't know if they've changed that in time. I have noticed over playing it the last few months to almost a year on and off that the graphics have become better. At one point in time, you used to start up here, I think, in a lighthouse around in this area. But now you start in this city, Nickel. Also, again, if I'm saying any of these words wrong and you are actually Russian and you know how these words are supposed to be, please let me know. I would really like to say them correctly. Also, I'm a big nerd and I just want to know, just in case for any reason, if I ever use the word of this town here, Zapolyarny, that maybe in the future, if I ever do use that word, I can pronounce it right and maybe impress someone. All right. And I'm also a big nerd and I've actually Googled these places. They really have existed. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. This map is huge. You will see if I zoom out here just how massive it is. Some of your quests take you way over here to the other side of the world pretty much. Yeah. And once I get all that, I'd like to see what's up in this area, but we'll take it slow. Okay, so let's zoom back into where I am here. Again, with the marker, the X's, I use red X a lot for toxic water, places to stay away from. I use this star all the time. Whenever I create a campsite outside of town, anytime I create a campsite outside of a town, I like to drop a lot of my items so then that way my character can move faster. When I drop those items, I always star it with a pink star because I'm a girl and I freaking love pink. So I always mark it with a pink star. If you don't mark it, it will show a campsite to an extent, but if you get away too far, you'll never know which campsite holds all your stuff. I have actually been there, and I have lost a ton of stuff in my last game because of that. So I always, when in doubt, star. I'm not gonna lie, this purple one also catches my eye because I'm very girly, and I like this pink, I like this purple, and I like this teal. Anyway, you choose your color. We'll get out of that. I do use a few other ones, but not as much. I do use the gas one. I hit green for gasoline, red for the diesel. You'll know why later on in time because that's what color the jugs actually are. So anyway, let's go back to our original quest here. The water stinks, we have to boil it. So we'll go to inventory. This is we've kindled just in case here. Now, this is our dirty water. Right below the drink is the boil button. As you boil water, this button becomes a lot faster as well, to the point where you don't even see that boiling bar anymore. I could boil some buckwheat. A hot meal is exactly what I need right now. Now it wants you to find the buckwheat in the inventory and tap the boil button. So let's go to our inventory, hit the buckwheat, hit the boil button. Now, I don't want to hide every time I hear a strange noise. I'll find a gun next time, and until then, I should try to make a weapon out of my stuff. Now it's telling us to find the flint in the inventory and make 2 flint blades. So we're going to hit our inventory here. We're going to find the flint, and we're going to work 2 of them up. This bar, workup bar, also gets faster the more you work up flint and the more your survival levels increase. See, here we go. New mechanic level, standard crossbow, crossbow bolt. We have now the flint axe and the flint knife. So now it's telling us to select the mechanic category, open the flint axe design and craft it, and then do the same with the knife. So at the bottom right there where it was showing all of our survivals, we're going to hit mechanics, we're going to hit flint axe. You'll see it shows you what's required to make the item. So 1 firewood's required, 1 flint blade is required, and 1 glue or insulating tape is required. We have more than enough of all of those. So we're going to hit make. Now we got a flint axe. We're going to do the same thing with the flint knife. Now we have a flint knife. Nice axe. I feel a lot better now that I have it. Now I have to worry about a place to sleep. Find the flint axe in your inventory and tap it. Tap the chop wood button and get 15 pieces of wood to build the hut. So let's hit inventory. We're going to hit the flint axe button, scroll down. We're going to chop wood. I got enough wood for a hut. I can start building it now. Now it wants you to open the design, select the survival category, and open the hut design and build it. So we're going to hit that flashing button, design at the bottom right. We're going to hit the hut and we're going to assemble it. Now we got a hut. It's a really good hut. It protects me from the wind. I'm going to rest now, and tomorrow I'll find people. It's a good thing I know what to do in situations like this. Otherwise, I'd be sleeping on a cold concrete floor, flinching at every noise. So now it wants us to eat and drink something. It wants us to tap the button with a tent on it to sleep, and then after wake up to go to the destination. It also shows a little tip down at the bottom. In a camp with fire in a hut, your character needs less time for sleeping, which is really good to know in case your fatigue level up here goes anywhere from 150 to 200. Also need to know that if it is extremely high, you're only going to wake up with 50% of your energy, which we will go through in just a minute here. Okay, so let's get out of this. We're going to go to inventory. I'm going to boil the rest of my water here. Now you'll see my cans that I have 4 cans. Now I have 3. When you boil water, you end up using some of these cans. I'm not sure how many, but you do use a few of them. Also, when you create buckwheat, you'll notice that if I boil it, my can is going to change from 3 to 2 because I'm using them for my food. It is so important to make sure that you have enough cans, okay? Yeah, let's boil the last one. There. It's so important to make sure you have enough cans. You're going to find so many of them, and you're going to try and drop so many of them. But when you do drop them to lighten your load, make sure that you at least keep a few of them. Otherwise, you can't even boil clean water, and it sucks. So let's eat the cooked buckwheat. Let's have a drink of some food. And then I'm going to hit this button at the bottom right here with this camp around it. And I'm going to hit sleep. So now you notice my character is sleeping. In time, you will probably cross an electronics store and be able to pick up an alarm clock, which will allow you to wake up whenever you absolutely want to. Okay, so now we're done that. After wake up, go to the destination. So let's view on the map. Our next destination is here in the town of Zapoliarny. Okay, so let's head over there. Okay, so now it says, now you're on your own, good luck. A few final pieces of advice for us. Figures on the top show your character's state. Tap on the icon across from any number to learn more. So those are these guys up here, okay? Tap them to learn more. We've already went through them. We're in a good state right now. In the next towns, the radiation level will be high. Pay attention to it. Make sure it doesn't go above 30 units. That's telling you, make sure your radiation here doesn't go above 30. My personal limit would be between 20 and 25. Especially if you have a lot of items with you, you're going to be weighed down, which will make you move slower. So if you never go above the 25 at least, it will give you a few extra seconds to get yourself the hell out of that town. So let's hit OK there. Get more food and water before starting a long trip. Oh, missed one right here. Try not to move or search at night. You could easily break your limbs. That is so important. If you're going to move or search at night, have light with you. First, you can make a torch, but eventually in time, you're going to get a flashlight from an electronics store or something, and then there's no reason to not search and do it at night. As long as there's light, you won't break your limbs and you won't dislocate certain limbs. It does suck when you do get there. If you do end up breaking a limb or dislocating an arm or shoulder or something like that, which does happen in this game, you can't use your transportation. You can't even use your bike for certain things. You can't use a motorcycle for certain things. And then you have to sit there and wait days while it actually heals itself. And you're restricted now to only moving within the few close towns or not getting back on your quest. So just try to, if you search at night and you have some light with you. Your character may faint if you don't let them rest frequently enough. That is true. I'm not gonna lie. I've gone up to up to 200, and I think maybe at a certain point there, my character did try to start sleeping. Fortunately, I had an alarm clock, so I was able to wake up and get the hell out of the town. So then I can sleep outside of town, not create my radiation level, and not get my poisoning up. So last one here, or two more. Don't get close to the water if you don't have a raft. Crossing water sucks if you don't have a raft. If you have a raft, you go pretty fast, you go at a normal speed, but if you go to choose the water, you're pretty much like swimming across it, I guess, and you go so slow. Okay, a lot of times it's easier to go all the way around the water looking for a bridge or the crossway instead of actually going across the water. And also there are mutant fish in there. Mutant fish. Fish is plural one. So there are mutant fish in there as well. And if you don't have a good, strong enough level, you can get seriously injured. You're also in the middle of water. You're kind of screwed from there. Okay. Think before you act and you'll live longer. That is very, very true. My number one piece of advice that is missing on here, okay, is for the premium players who are allowed to save at any time. Save, save, save. There is no reason not to save. And if you're a true gamer, you've already done it, where you have beaten certain things and forgot to save, and then you have to go back and do it all over again. You already know by now how much that sucks. So whenever you can, save. If you die, you could just load from your last previous game, which is probably just going to be a few minutes out from where you just died, okay? That is my number one piece of advice, is save, save, save. All right. So now this is our new quest here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this walkthrough now. I'm going to load up my premium version one, only because it gives me a few extra items, and at the same time I'm starting off in the middle of the city right here. Right here. And then we'll be able to continue from there. Okay? So goodbye. Thank you for watching my video. See you soon.